few videos back, I showed you where the vine was splitting on the 1634 plant. Here we are at the crown now, and you can see what that split looks like now. You know, I was worried it was going to keep going all the way up into here, but it's really hardened up, and it is still open. And if it wasn't such a dry climate and I wasn't using drip irrigation, that would be a real big risk. But here it's just dry and pretty stable. So it's sort of funny looking, but I think that ended up ultimately working out. Day 38 on the 885 burl, gaining about 18 pounds a day, now weighing 306 pounds. Day 38 on the 1634 Rhea, gaining about 13 pounds a day, now weighing 277 pounds. Very wheel shaped. It's like half a pumpkin. Plant is starting to fill in actually though. A little better than before. Maybe a little too late, I don't know. But we're able to get some of these tertiaries and a couple of the secondaries trained forward. So a little bit more plant. 2350 Ginger, also day 38, gaining about 18 pounds a day, now weighing 275 pounds. So these plants have actually filled in a little bit better than I had thought. Plant size is improved. Still not going to probably fill in the whole thing, but the plant health seems to have improved quite a bit from previous videos or check-ins. The sort of strange thing, or maybe not so strange thing, is that the pumpkin growth rates for being in the 30s, in the day 30s, where you normally would see just the really aggressive growth. In the past, I've had, you know, 40s, even 50s for a period of time, but at least you'd hope for 20s, 30s, and fortunately we're just sitting in the high teens, so not great news there, but still learning, let's just put it that way. It's all part of the process, and both of these pumpkins are just really funny looking. Kind of shape-wise is not ideal. So I'm gonna do a little bit of backpack spraying of some CalMag and a little bit of phosphorus now. And I've been watering a little bit more through the drip and putting a little bit of fertilizer in as well. See if we can't just get these guys to kick it up in gear a little bit more. And if not, we'll just grow some funny looking big porch pumpkins. So we'll see how it goes. Same situation over here. Plant looks good, just not very big. Pumpkin shape on this side, on this plant is actually pretty good. And this is getting close to 20 pounds a day, so maybe this one will get moving. If we can get these pumpkins to keep growing, the goal is to take the two biggest of the three to the two big pumpkin weigh-offs here in Northern California. One is the Half Moon Bay pumpkin weigh-off, and the other is sponsored by Hard Rock, and it's where is it? Bishop Pumpkin Ranch in the Central Valley, Sacramento area. So right now we're not on any great pace, but things can change. Like I said, I like seeing the plant health improve, and if the plant health improves, maybe the pumpkin rates will pick back up. We still got, you know, 10-20 days in the zone where you expect rapid growth, so anything can change. Quick patch update on the second patch. So over here we have a French pumpkin. Forget the exact name, but they produce these really bright red fruit. You can see there's one there and one there. Probably got, I don't know, 5 or 6 on this plant. This plant goes kind of like here to here. Over here is a field pumpkin, and got a few field pumpkin flowers like that and there, but nothing that I've seen that it's actually set yet. And that's mostly because this plant is about, you know, this big. I had to kind of move some of it out of the way here because the Atlantic giant here is on a secondary, and so we kind of had to move stuff around. So this plant's about, I think, around 17 days old. Probably weighs about 25 pounds. Really good symmetrical shape, very good sized stem. I'm gonna have to start lifting some roots because it's on a secondary. It's actually a pretty skinny little vine, but so far it's growing really well. This is a Howden pumpkin, like your carving jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. So we got a pumpkin there, and there's a couple on here, and we'll let as many grow as we can. We're not trying to grow anything for size here, just get as many kind of carving pumpkins as possible. So that plant is sort of this chunk here. And then just, this is the Atlantic giant going out that way. And then over here is a gourd, a yellow star gourd or something like that, I think. And this one is gonna have a bunch, and you can kind of already see the little bumps forming and the stripe pattern. So it'll be sort of striped, bumpy, and I think it even has some ridges. So there'll be a bunch of these little gourds on here. This plant goes out around here. There's another field pumpkin right here. Got a lot going on in this patch, just kind of packed in. There's a field pumpkin there, field pumpkin there. Nothing's bloomed and set yet, but once it does, for the field pumpkins, we'll probably just keep 1 or 2. And then this is sort of the Atlantic giant still kind of coming in here, so we'll start terminating these vines. And then over here is the final pumpkin or gourd. This is a like a white gourd with stripes and some bumps. So this one's interesting. It grows more like a zucchini plant, where it doesn't really vine, it just kind of grows up, or like a squash plant. Very healthy leaves. That's the kind of round green one there. So what's interesting is got all these different pumpkin plants, you know, all from the same cucurbid family, and they all have these really great green looking leaves. And the Atlantic giant, which is actually a 2158 patent, from the very beginning has had these yellow tipped leaves, some, you know, just like a yellow tip like that. Some, the older leaves become really yellow. There's some spots where it's not as distinct, like down here they're, you know, a little bit more traditional green. So I attributed that to some kind of something going on in the soil. But what's sort of surprising is how pretty much every other pumpkin grown, all these different varieties, all the leaves are just perfectly green. Everything looks normal, so sort of bizarre. So there's your little update on the second patch. This is our Gravenstein apple tree, and I did a pretty thorough job thinning this tree this year and summer pruning it, and it's just loaded. This is our first tree to ripen. This region in Sonoma County is famous for these apples. They don't keep well, but they're really delicious. And We even have a festival in the area. So those are about to be ready to harvest. I'm gonna have more than I know what to do with.